February 4th, 2026. God works miracles, Jeremiah 32:17-19. Ah, sovereign Lord, you have made the heavens and the earth by your great power and outstretched arm. Nothing is too hard for you, great and mighty God, whose name is the Lord Almighty. Great are your purposes and mighty are your deeds. It is always good to stir up our faith and remember that God is a God of miracles. As the prophet Jeremiah said, nothing is too difficult for him. Because we believe his word, we can be confident that with God all things are possible. Matthew 19:26. You may feel that your life is a mess right now and that nothing will ever change. For a believer, that's just not true. God can take your biggest mess and turn it into your biggest miracle. In our natural minds, there are certain things we think of as too difficult for us. You may be thinking about a situation right now that seems too hard for you. Maybe it's getting out of debt. Maybe it's losing weight and becoming physically healthy. Maybe it's doing your part to see a breakthrough in your marriage or family. Whatever your circumstances are, if there is something that seems too difficult for you, I have good news today. It's not too hard for God. Let me remind you that in the Old Testament, God reached down from heaven and parted the Red Sea so his people could escape their enemies and walk through it on dry land. Exodus 14:21-22. If you or I were to visit the ocean, we would not be able to hold back even a handful of water, but God held back all of it. This miraculous deliverance positioned his people to finally enter into the great promises he had for them. Think also about how hard you may have tried to change yourself or to change other people at times. That is very hard to do. But God can take hard, wounded, sinful, bitter hearts and make them soft, whole, strong, holy, loving, and forgiving. If he can do that, then I believe he can do anything. The salvation and transformation he does in us is truly miraculous. In the New Testament, Jesus did all kinds of miracles. Nothing was too difficult for him, not turning 5 loaves and 2 fish into a meal that fed 5,000 people, Mark 6:41-44. Not healing a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years, Luke 8:43-48. Not raising someone from the dead, Luke 8:49-55. Not even walking on water, Matthew 14:22-25. All of these things would definitely be too hard for us, but not for him. I encourage you to spend some time thinking about the things you think are too hard for you. Take each one and surrender it to God. Release it and tell him that you trust him with it completely and that you believe nothing is too difficult for him. Prayer of the day. Lord, I surrender every overwhelming situation to you. Strengthen my faith to believe nothing is too hard for you. Turn my challenges into miracles and help me trust your power completely. Amen.